Today, we're doing a deep dive into the journey of money. I mean, it's this thing we use every day, but its story is just incredible, from simple goods all the way to digital code.
It really is.
And our mission today is to sort of unpack how civilization tackled the same problem over and over again. How do we agree on what has value?
Exactly. And it's not just economics, It's really a story about human ingenuity trying to solve this constant tension between making wealth portable, easy to carry, and making it trustworthy.
Portability versus trust. I like that. Okay, so let's start at square one, the barter system.
Right. I trade you my chickens for your shoes.
Sounds simple, almost pure in a way. But it was just, well, a complete mess in practice. What was the foundational flaw?
Well, it all comes down to what economists call the double coincidence of wants, which is a fancy way of saying it's incredibly difficult.
Okay, break that down.
I mean, say I have a sheep and I need fish, but the person with the fish doesn't need a sheep. He needs fruit. So now I have to go find the fruit vendor, trade my sheep for fruit, if he even wants a sheep, and then go back to the fisherman.
So trade barely happens. It's just absurdly limited.
It basically grinds any complex economy to a halt.
So the first big solution was commodity money, the idea that the valuable item is also the currency, like salt for the Romans.
Precisely. Salt was vital for preserving food, so it had its own built-in value. And Roman soldiers were actually paid in salt sometimes, salarium.
Which is where we get the word salary.
That's it. Or you see cowrie shells used across Asia and Africa. They worked because they're pretty uniform, durable, and easy to carry around.
But, solving the want problem just created a weight problem, right? You can't exactly haul an empire's worth of salt around, and I guess cattle get sick, grain spoils.
And that's what pushed us towards metals. Gold, silver, they're durable, they're rare, they don't spoil. Almost perfect.
Almost. What was the catch?
The catch was purity. Every single time you made a trade, you'd have to weigh the metal, test it to make sure it wasn't fake. It was slow and just invited fraud.
So the next leap forward wasn't the material, it was the idea. Standardization.
Yes. Around 600 BCE, the Lydians in modern-day Turkey, they had this brilliant idea. They took electrum, which is a mix of gold and silver, and they stamped it with a symbol.
A guarantee.
A guarantee from the state.
Yeah.
That stamp certified the weight and the purity. It was the birth of the coin as we know it. The invention wasn't the metal disc. It was the certainty that the stamp provided.
So that simple stamp outsourced trust from the individual to the government.
Exactly. But as empires and trade grew, you ran into that old problem again. Portability. An army can't carry a literal ton of gold coins to pay for supplies.
Which brings us to paper. And this is a strange one. It started with what? Receipts from medieval goldsmiths?
It did. People would store their gold with a goldsmith for safekeeping, and they'd get a paper receipt in return. And then came the insight.
People started trading the receipts themselves.
They started trading the receipts. Because it was easier and safer than hauling around the actual gold, the core commodity became trust in the goldsmith.
And that's the foundation of modern banking, isn't it?
It's the whole game. The goldsmiths quickly realized they could issue more receipts than the gold they actually had in the vault. That's fractional reserve banking. And it totally changed how wealth is created.
Which leads us to today, to fiat currency. After 1971, most of the world went off the gold standard. So our money isn't backed by anything physical.
Nothing at all. Its value comes purely from government decree. That's what fiat means, by order, and our collective belief in it. The entire global economy runs on a shared consensus. It's valuable because we all agree it is.
And just when you think the story ends there, we go digital. Most money is already just data, and now the latest evolution, cryptocurrency.
Right, and what's so fascinating about crypto and the blockchain is that it's decentralized. There's no central bank, no government controlling it. In a way, it sort of mirrors the independence of the old barter system.
But without the inefficiency.
Exactly. It replaces trust in a human institution with trust in cryptographic math.
So the whole story is this relentless push to make exchange simpler, safer, and more reliable.
It is. And that brings us to a final sort of provocative thought for you to take away. Our modern fiat system depends entirely on collective trust in a governing authority. So the question is, how does a new, decentralized, trustless system like cryptocurrency challenge that relationship between money and the state that's existed for millennia? That tension is really where the future is being written.